Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me turn that off. I keep forgetting about that whole thing. It should be automatically muted, but hey, whatever. So there's a commercial playing right now on my broadcast. So I'm about to spend this time during the commercial sharing my stream. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I'm playing Dragon Age. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Share. Shared stuff. Shared it. It was shared. Twitter shared. Okay. Okay. So, before we jump into this thing here, I'm gonna wait a few more seconds, get a few people to hop in here, one person to hop in here and take a look at all this stuff I'm doing. Um, this isn't going to be your typical dealio thing at all. This is gonna be something different. This is gonna be something a little bit different. What I'm doing, and I guess I can just go ahead and start talking because maybe people will check this out later or something. I don't know. One can hope. Is I'm going to do a web series called Dragon Age of Thrones, and I'm going to basically dub over the the action as a narrator for my funny video thing. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. You know, it'll be funny. It'll be short, like maybe 5-6 minutes. And so right now I'm going to play and just do the character creation sequence. And all this footage I'm going to take and capture and then edit it down. And then, um, well, let's get started. And we'll show you more. Because right now I've already gotten to the... Whoops, that's the wrong one. I showed you the wrong thing. You saw that, though. Too bad. Okay, so now we're here. And we're on the... we're going to make our dude. His name is going to be... I'm going to make a dude look like Jon Snow. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So let's go with the beard first. That might be the easiest thing, and then we'll change his hair color, and then terrible. I made a lot of Oliver Queens, you could tell with the options you have here. All my archers have the mustachio. Okay, now we're getting to where we're getting to some beards. Let's go down the list and see what other kind of beards we can get. Something beardy. Beardy McBeardson. That's... Oh, well, okay, now we're cooking. Now we're a little scraggly. Oh, wait. Need a stash again. Let's see. I don't know if we can get rid of that mustache with the. No, we can't. All right, so let's go back. We can get rid of that mustache, that Warriors 3 mustache. That's a little. Okay, I kind of like this. Okay, now we gotta give his hair a deal. Let's go with the hair color, black hair color. Oh, red all the way on. So I think it's gray to the other side here. Cause old snow. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Old snow. No, my name is Old Snow. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got the black hair and the ear. Oh, I hate that happens. Okay, so we got our color. Now let's look at our hairstyles. See what we got. We got a viewer. I think that's me though. That's so sad. So sad. One viewer, but that's okay. So if I make these really cool YouTube videos, and maybe we'll get some viewers on this channel. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, let's go. You know nothing about hair care, Jon Snow, obviously. Oh, wait, I think that might be it. It's kind of hard to tell because he has long hair, but they don't really have like long. Wait, oh, you know what? That might be where we have to go right there. That might be it. This might be our dude. This might be our guy. Let's see. Oh, no, no. Oh, no. I say the day. All right, let's go back to our. Oh, there it is. I think that's the winner. I think there's our Jon Snow. Okay. All right. Now, the voice. Oh, cool. I turned off all the audio for the voices. Cool. So I think the left one is kind of like the high pitch, and the right one is the low pitch. I can always change it later, so we're all right. Cause I can go to the Emporium. Yay! All right. So I always like to leave the model of faces normal to the basic set as much as possible, because you find out that when you start tweaking the eyes, the nose, and the mouth and stuff, that the animation when the character speaks in the game, it looks stupid because they designed these base models to play the entire game through, and whatever you fiddle with, there's no test for that. So sometimes you'll make a, especially when I make female characters, they're trying to make her look drastically different than the character based model. They end up having them an issue that during the dramatic scenes, my character looks like a doofus. So I typically learn my lesson and just stick to the base face structure and play with the hair and makeup sometimes, depending. I might make the lips a little smaller, but any change to the nose and the placement on the face, you run the risk of having a character that looks just kind of dumb the rest of the game, and it can be a pain in the butt. All right, so now they don't really. You can give your character a name, but it doesn't matter. Your last name in the game is Trevelyan. So we'll just call this guy John, and you'll never see it ever in the game ever. He'll never call himself that. It's meaningless. Oh, and the game is now begun. So this is the webcast for creating the YouTube series. My YouTube channel is just my name, Dante Maddox. I don't have a snappy YouTube channel name because when I made my YouTube channel, I didn't know what I was making. And it's very, very hard to change the name of your YouTube channel. Trust me, I've tried and tried and tried and tried. It's very difficult. YouTube is serious about that. So it's Dante Maddox channel. I got a few videos on there. Nothing really all that terribly great. One video I made that was kind of funny got like 16 views. So, there we're at. I got one view on my webcast. And so, what we're going to talk about right now is just the making of the series, which is going to be like a bunch of Game of Thrones lampooning, sort of taking the scenes from the game and just not making all new voices, but sort of like I'm reading a book, like I'm narrating a story. I'm thinking like, what was that one movie called? Kong something, Bob Odenkirk or whatever the guy's name was, where he was Kung Pao, kind of like that. But there's gonna be hardly any dialogue. Now, what I'll do is, for like the longer cut scenes and stuff, I'll have some of the audio in there for some of the effects. Like right now I'm live casting with no voice, and I think there's even no subtitles. Like they're not gonna hear him say anything, which might be a mistake, but it's okay because it doesn't matter. Actually, no, I'm just gonna have to scrub out my own voice in this narration, but essentially I want the music and the sound effects, and I'll take care of all the dialogue, and like I'm gonna use scenes like this and then just reinterpret what's happening. I do realize that there will be parts where you'll see my choices for dialogue. I don't know if I can get rid of that. I can look into it, but I think I'll be able to edit past every scene where you see an on-screen prompt and still keep enough of the narrative to change what I'm seeing or what I'm doing. But truth be told, I kind of have to sit through this because I can't fast forward it. I need the footage. Oh, that's horrible. You think I did it? Remain silent? I'm gonna say that's horrible because it doesn't matter what I say. I wasn't sure if I could get rid of the actual dialogue in the cutscenes. This is awesome. There's a language package that you can get that will basically, well, I think it'll give you a couple different languages. I thought I downloaded it, but I guess not. So I don't know. Like I was hoping to do a Naruto tribute using Dragon Age because I was able. You have a ninja class essentially. It's a thief class, but all the powers are basically ninja stuff, and you can play with the character design enough and make costumes and all that kind of stuff to do a few cool things. Like Green Arrow is super easy, probably the easiest thing to make because of the hair, But I made Naruto. Like I literally made a dude with a orange ninja jumpsuit with ninja powers who disappeared, and then I took all the different thieves in the game and made my little ninja fighting squad, and it was awesome because when the fight started, everyone turned invisible and then would appear in a puff of smoke and stab people. It was all epic ninja fighting on this game, and so back then I was just doing it for kicks, but now that I'm doing all this recording and stuff, I thought that that'd be fun to do a Naruto series, but that took a while because in order to get all the elements you need to really make a character look like Naruto in the game takes just some time because you have to get to a certain point where you get a certain resource that gives you the color you need to make your costume the proper color. And of course, it's dragon webbing that's orange, gives you the orange color. And in order to get dragon webbing, you have to fight a dragon. And the first dragon you get to is not like, in the grand scheme of things, close to the beginning of the game. You need to be reasonably level 7 or 8. I think maybe at level 9 you can take him, but it's a tough fight. You're like a level 11, and then you can just run up on him and do him in, you know. But then you got to be careful because you only have so much of the material, and it takes 1 unit of that material in order to uh, create a dye to make a color. And you have to get to a certain part of the game where you have access to the uh, the mechanism to change the color and things like that. Like, yeah, the first place you are in the game, you don't have the mechanism yet. You have to get farther in the game to unlock the mechanism that will allow you to change the color of your uniforms and forward certain items. So in order to make Naruto, I have to play the game for quite some time. Um, Now, truth be told, because you never see the character's face, I can't do it because this character I made is a warrior, two-handed warrior. I figured Jon Snow has technically a two-handed sword, so I'd give him that kind of weapon in this. Um, I like this game a lot. I do. Dragon Age is a very, very fun game. BioWare is my favorite game developer. However, I do wish there was just a bit more cosmetic stuff to play with in the series, especially in the third game when they sort of really up the ante in terms of what you can do in terms of gameplay. So it's a little disappointing that moving around. It's a little disappointing that I'm the swords I can make, swords I can find. Like they don't really give you one that like the realistic ones are so rare that chances are when you find them, there's like it's useless to you, basically stuff like that. Like you can find schematics, but I have not found schematics for a really good-looking two-handed sword like that. I thought was all that terribly impressive. The larger weapons are somewhat cartoonish, and I think that that's great and all if because you have like giant dudes who can carry weapons in the game. But I also have a regular human who should be able to have a. I don't want to all of a sudden be Cloud from Final Fantasy. It's just. I don't mind that it's in there, but give me the option to have a more, I don't know, barbarian or Conan-like, issue if I want. Like let me have the generic on some level. Previous installments of the game kind of gave you a little bit more of a variation on the weapons, even though the graphics weren't quite as good. I feel like I traded like excellent graphics and gameplay for a diminished amount of cosmetic benefit. Anyone who's curious in the future watching these videos, there's only me viewing it. Actually, let me see if that's the case. 'Cause maybe, let me find out. Turn on to see if I lost that viewer. Because I feel like I only got one viewer because I swear no one ever commented. Whoever that one viewer is doesn't really say anything. I think maybe like a system admin, make sure I'm not saying anything about like anti-Semitism or something. Okay, so it says my viewer is still there, so maybe it's not me, unless I'm still me? Heck, man, I don't know. Well, there's a conversation. Let me turn back on Twitch then and get back to looking at my stuff. Twitch TV, there we go. Alright, I'll write all this on. I didn't really like a lot of role-playing games as a kid. Like Final Fantasy is still just overrated BS. Like it's never really like Final Fantasy at all. Um, I played Tactics though, because I played tabletop games, and Tactics is an awesome tabletop game. um, but I felt like the tabletop games had a certain charm. Do I need to do my normal thing? See, my normal thing over here is I have what's called the Black Emporium. It's an update that came from Dragon Age 2. And the Black Emporium lets you do a few cool things. In the third game, it lets you get weapon schematics, like basically the templates for making custom materials, weapons. And think about using schematics instead of finding a legendary weapon laying around someplace. If you collect all of the different materials needed with the schematic, you can make a weapon far more powerful than you'll find typically in the game, which is literally a game changer. Like all of a sudden, okay, using my powers, oh big oh yeah, that's right, you get stabbed. If you have a chance to check out my my Terra video on my YouTube channel, it's obnoxious, and I think that's why it's kind of funny to me, because I'm so obnoxious when it's all about punching and fighting. Just hit you with this big ass sword. That's right. You know, typically I don't like the two-handed weapon because the animation strongly suggests a hammer, but then they start you off with a sword, and it just seems to be weird to me that the sword can smash the ground. And I also don't really appreciate the effect if it's not really there. It bugs me to no end that you can smash the ground and then a couple seconds later it's repaired like I'm in the Matrix. I just don't even bother. If you can't leave the ground smashed, don't give me a weapon that smashes the ground. It's not worth it to me, especially since it doesn't jive with all the weapons in the set, because my sword shouldn't really do that, I think. You know, the fact that it does and the sword don't break is kind of irritating. So, like, I played with the big two-handed sword when I first started playing at the way back, and then I just stopped because it was just I couldn't get over the fact that one of my most effective attacks irritated me to see it happen. It was like disappointing. And plus, Dragon Age has always been a game built for the rogue class. It's just what you should have. If you're gonna play the game and be successful at it, to be honest, it screams use the rogue. It just, part of it is the AI for the rogue on your team is just non-existent. So the rogue is going to be a liability if it's not you. You know, and that's just the way it kind of has been since I first played Dragon Age. Now, Dragon Age 1 had a character class that was ridiculously overpowered, so that kind of made up for the fact that you could become arcane warrior and just, it didn't matter. There was nothing a rogue could unlock or get that would really and truly matter to you, which was kind of actually cool game design on BioWare's part, because you weren't stuck with a rogue in your party because you couldn't unlock doors. Typically speaking, there's only maybe like one moment in the game where you need someone to pick a lock. I think maybe one, and I think when you're taking down the Carta in the first game, I think there's a key or something in a box. You need a rogue for it. I think that might be the only time. Other than that, you don't have to have a rogue. The boxes they open is all bonus stuff. There's nothing you have to have, which is really cool. It doesn't force you. And this game follows that suit. Part 2 was that as well. They kind of made the rogue class a luxury that you can just decide to have if you want the game to be a little easier. But truth be told, you can run around with 4 warriors or 4 mages or whatever you desire. Like there was no required class, especially after they got rid of what's it called? They got rid of health, like healing magic after the first game. In the first game, you kind of, if you want to play the game on easy, you kind of ran around with 2 wizards, Morgan for offense, and then you taught Wynn how to heal, and you just would basically never lose a fight, you know, because Morgan would just spam all these devastating attacks, and then, you know, Wynn could heal. And then if you're using Arcane Warrior, it was just like God would put the game on extreme difficulty and just walk through it, because once you got everyone's arcane warrior setting up, because once you learned it, you can teach it to everyone else. So now you have 3 arcane warriors. So you have 3 high level mages whose magical score represents their strength. It's like a magic finesse if you play D&D, and then all of a sudden now these 3 wizards are wearing the strongest armor you can craft in the game, because you can craft armor, and can pick up the heaviest, toughest sword, because you just spend all your points as you build them up in their magic. The only thing you put in a wizard was magic. They didn't need anything else really. So your wizards should already be like super badass, And here you go. Now you have a level 42 wizard, level 42 wizard who's running around with a broadsword and can still fire all their magical attacks. Because the thing is, like in D&D, the reason the wizard didn't wear heavy armor was because it disrupted their ability to use their spells. That was like a little rule in the game that kind of nerfed the wizard in a way. Uh, Basically, in Dragon Age, they basically said that a wizard didn't have the physical strength to wear heavy armor and run around. So that's why they didn't have it. So when you became an arcane warrior and your magic score became your strength score, all of a sudden you had the base physical strength to carry anything. So you didn't have any cool what's the word? You didn't have any cool weapon combos or weapon attacks, but your base attack was devastating with your weapon. And then you also had magic on top of that at no penalty. The class was ridiculous. Once you put in all the passive abilities, you had this thing called Shimmer where you were basically invisible. They give you an arcane warrior class type here, and they even tip of the hat to the original character class in the first game, and they kind of explain that's where this new technique, it's a prestige class in this game, comes from, and it's cool. And I mean, you are once again effectively invincible, but it's not quite the same, and you can get killed. Like I've fought many a dragon, and died, but it's still pretty fun. They give you a lightsaber in this one. You get like a magic sword, which is interesting because they can't give you. You can't have a warrior running around carrying a broadsword. I mean, it's a wizard carrying a broadsword. They just won't let that happen. But you can absolutely get an arcane, and you can absolutely have your lightsaber. It's BioWare. They do Star Wars. Now, here is when they force you to play the turn-based aspect of the game, which, well, I will admit, is very fun. But it's not something that I think I can broadcast. Like, it's definitely an acquired taste, and it's a very solo sort of adventure. And the thing about it is, which is a very compelling argument as to why they don't really make a lot of turn-based games, especially with graphics this detailed, is because while I'm playing this like in real time, it's a lot of fun. I have a couple game saves where I play the turn-based style, and it's tough not to lose my patience, turn off the hit start to real time, and then just hack and slash out of whatever the fight is. It's just like, if the option's there, it's hard not to take it. And I feel like I would not want them to make this game turn-based as the only way to play, and then not enough people buy the game, because it is more fun to play it in real time. But there is value in the turn-based aspect of the game as well. I mean, I'm not going to argue with anyone how you should play a game. You pay for it, you play the way they let you play it. And the games that you play more than one way are my favorite games. I feel like at this point, as a tool within the game, you basically use the turn-based system to win tough battles. Because there's a dragon you fight in the game that is not your friend, and he is not kidding around, and he just kept killing us every time I did anything. I just got electrocuted. He just had it for us. And finally, I hit the turn-based thing, and the strategy. Oh yeah, this is one of the things about the map you'll learn is you explore more of it and unlock more of it. There's all kinds of rewards. And sometimes when it seems like you've got to a point, because these are all like basically giant mazes, if it sees you got to a dead end and you went down this long path seemingly for no reason, chances are you'll be rewarded with a conversation between the characters. Something special that happens right then and there that probably involves you. So when you saw that little thing, that prompt pop up, that is basically a unique conversation opportunity that's not set in stone. It only happens if I walk across that part of the game right then and there. That's what we talk about. Something, and that goes back to actually Obsidian did that in Knights of the Old Republic too. You also get this little bonus because technically speaking, what I just did is not required. I just went off the beaten path and found little extra goodies because, like I was saying earlier, I got sidetracked. I do this way and get all the little gems and trinkets and money because I can go to the Black Emporium almost immediately. The trouble is, it's the beginning of the game and I'm broke. So I learned that if you pick up all the random bits of stuff they give you in the opening, which is basically the tutorial of the game, you might have enough to get the blueprint for a better weapon that you'll have like for the first almost 10 levels of the game. Now you start the game proper. You're like level 2 or level 3 depending. Humans get more levels early, get a bonus level. That's a whole D&D thing too. Humans are industrious, so they get a bonus level, a bonus feat when they start the game. So in this game, humans are industrious, so they give them a bonus level. So when you finish the tutorial, you're one level higher than you would be if you were a dwarf or elf. But dwarves are resistant to magic, elves are like hard to hit with projectiles or something, useless. Like, it's really useless. What they give you in exchange for the extra level is not a fair trade-off. I would trade that crap they give you as an elf or a Kunari or anything for an extra character level. That's just dumb. There's nothing you can give me. Resistance to magic? Get out of here with that. I don't care. I don't care about any magic. If my human is not getting pwned by all the magic in the universe, then how would you entice me by giving someone a little bit more resistance to it and taking away a character level? Because really, if you look at it, it just penalizes the other classes. It doesn't. No, I don't care about anything other than that level. Give me that level, son. Get out of here with that. Stupid, you know. But hey. So I typically play humans, to be honest, more often than any other character class. The other character classes are pure curiosity. Like, there's no point really in playing them for, like, if you're trying to be good at the game, for lack of a better term, which is also meaningless. But you know what I mean, like, for success in the game, I guess. Ease of play, or, you know, being able to see it all or do it all. And see, there's a lot of stuff on the screen that is going to end up, I don't know, maybe being well, it is a game. Alright, so there's your first level. So, because I'm a human, 2 points. So you get a point per level. But I start off level 2 warrior, 2 points to spend. I know that sounds funny, but if I was a level 2 elf right now, or I'd have 1 point right now, or something like that. Something stupid. Okay, so I'm running around 2 swords. So, here we go. This is the attack. Oh, wow. The tutorial is irritating because I've beaten this game multiple times. I've played the game for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And still, I can't turn off the dang tutorial pop-up as doing any of the game. It's stupid. Anyway, so here we go. The Mighty Blow is the powerful attack that's obviously for a hammer that they don't give you new animation for if you have a sword. But it's effective because it knocks your opponent down. And really and truly, like, I guess it's really comes down to Street Fighter. Street Fighter developed a strategy that's like the most effective fighting strategy in any game, and it's pretty logical. It's, you know, keeping your opponent off balance, juggling. So Mighty Blow knocks your opponent down. It is a control effect from a warrior perspective. Like, a warrior can, you know, is usually there to entice enemies to fight them because they can take a lot of damage, they can deal a good amount of damage, and they keep the fight centered on them. A controller will impede, slow down, boost, or diminish, you know, enemies as needed. And so, let me spin this point while I'm sitting here chitter chattering. Uh, uh, these ones, the ones that are like square diamonds or whatever, are actual attacks from your tree. So I gotta learn block and slash because that is my defense. Like, when a dude tries to hit me, I can use that crap and hit him back. And actually, I'm gonna take up the next step up for flawless defense because now it gives me guard, and guard replaces health in a way, I guess, or it's like an overshield in Halo. Okay, so you can do yeah, I shouldn't have got two powers up there. If I'd have been another race, I got one power right there. So now we're getting to our first dialogue scene. And so, again, this will be one of those moments where I'm going to cut out um, the part where I say something. But I'll keep all this stuff in here. It's useful footage, you know. And I might have a little bit of the fighting. I'll have to look up. I think I can probably get rid of my heads-up display and everything like this. I honestly think this might just end up being a webcast. It's going to go for another 15 or 20 minutes, just to have it in the backlog, you know, and then I can start editing and playing from scratch with the intent of, you know, on a local recording because also this game is huge and my computer barely likes it. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's bad enough, you know, like it's a pain in the ass, you know. Um, I want to do it to where after I watch an episode of Game of Thrones, like Monday night, the next night, or maybe Tuesday night, depending, because I can probably just play Game of Thrones, play the game while I watch, because I'll have a local recording to save bandwidth, and then I'll just put these bad boys up on YouTube and see if people like them. You know, I got a couple of other ideas, you know, for various things I can do because it's like basically finding a toy and wanting to play with it. So Twitch was kind of like a novelty, but I see it has its uses, and I'm always behind the time on everything. I love how there's all of a sudden all this chaos that there's no dialogue though. It's a silent film that's not silent. You know? But yeah. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Let me get out of this scene. Oh, take the mountain path. Take the mountain path. Oh crap, take the mountain path. Okay, good. This is a good place to stop. The mountain path takes forever. It's a very strange option that really and truly gives you a chance to be liked more by Cassandra or not. And it's organic how the companions see you and how it works, how you affect them. They don't give you any sort of standing meter to let you know where you stand with them. It's realistic. I mean, I wish my friends had a friendship meter and I knew exactly where I stood with them, you know, from time to time. So this one doesn't give you that either. You have to kind of figure it out based on what they say. But for a game this size, it's hard to figure out if you have gotten everything or not. Like, this is. Like, you have no idea if you've figured it out or not. Okay, so this is our tradition for Dragon Age and Bioware games. We gotta find a photo. Oh, let's see here. It's like an album cover. Oh, supposed to be looking off in the distance. Get in the shot, you idiots. Okay. I think we got it. That's our save. Stop moving, Solus. Perfect. And that's our game save right there. New game save, which I'm gonna totally delete because this is. I got some good ideas from this, but I'm totally not gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it different, and I mean different, different. Like where you say diff and then you pay rent. All right. Well, that was the webcast of Dragon Age of Thrones episode 1. And we didn't talk about Game of Thrones. I'm glad I had this in there. I had this thing in here where I was going to say, oh, Game of Thrones chat, but no, we're not going to do that because why? I don't have any viewers yet, so that's cool. All right. See you guys next time.